Let's welcome Coach Sibu as we talk about developing an entrepreneurial mindset.
Right. So my real name is Sibusiso Nkosi. So I'm a business coach. I'm a certified life coach. I'm also a certified educator in entrepreneurship. I run a company called Growth Peak Wellness. And yeah, the rest of the stuff you can find on TikTok. Okay. And today I'm going to be speaking to you guys about the entrepreneurial mindset. But I want to hear from you guys. When you hear entrepreneurial mindset, what words come to mind? Yeah, that's a very good one. Money, selling, stress, maverick, all of that kind of stuff, right? So we always come up with these terms that sometimes we struggle to put in one basket. Because somebody's saying you must be good at communicating. Somebody's saying you must be good at selling. Somebody says you must be good at this, right? At the end of the day, you're consuming so much information, you get confused. Okay. I've been doing a study for the last year. And you guys are going to be the first to actually hear it. Okay? So you guys are VIP. Okay. You're getting the 411 into the study before it comes out. But this is a study that I've been conducting since last year about the entrepreneurial mindset. I'm going to turn it into an ebook that's actually coming soon. And there's something that is called mental strength. So when we speak about the entrepreneurial mindset, there's something called mental strength, right? Mental strength is broken down into two, so that you can take all of these confusing things and throw them out. 2, focus, tenacity. 2 things. Those things, they encompass everything else that you need to do as an entrepreneur, right? And then I will fill you guys in terms of what focus and tenacity are and how you apply them, how you train them, how you hone them, and how you grow them. Because they are mind skills. They're just like doing push-ups, right? It's like you're giving your mind a six-pack. That's what you're doing, right? So you need to train it. A lot of people will say, yeah, it's called great, and it's actually a characteristic. You are born with it or you're not born with it. That is nonsense. You can actually train yourself to have mental strength and increase your focus and tenacity. And I'm going to tell you exactly how. You're not going to like it, but I'm going to tell you exactly how. So my life coaching certification is based on sports science. That's why my approach is very different, okay? Other life coaches, their certifications are based on psychology. I don't do psychology. I do sports science. If you've dealt with me, you know I will push you. So when I look at people, I look at athletes, right? So I'm like Michael Jordan's coach. I'm like Mike Tyson's coach. So I take that approach with people so that you can keep stretching yourself, keep stretching yourself. So that's why sports science is very important to me, because that's when I started understanding the connection of exercise, we were speaking about it, and mental strength at the end of the day. So I want to give you guys a story, because I focus a lot on boxing and mixed martial arts. Do you guys know what MMA is? You do? A few of you guys. Okay. People call it cage fighting. If you can't stand blood, don't watch the sport. Okay. It's like boxing with kickboxing, with jiu-jitsu and all of that, right? So some years ago, I used to be a blogger. So I used to blog for MMA, right, in South Africa. I was actually the top blogger for MMA in South Africa. So I would get free tickets to all of these big events, you know, sit by the cage side. You know, you sit there where when they punch somebody, the blood falls on your shirt. So I used to sit in front. So I used to love the sport. And I started studying athletes. So this is part of the study that I'm doing. I started, studying all of the athletes that are in boxing and mixed martial arts. And the reason why I study them in particular is because the sports that they are in requires a lot of mental strength. Imagine you are a boxer. You are in a ring. Each round, 3 minutes. Total rounds, 12. You're moving around while somebody's punching you. Do you understand what that requires? And these people, they wake up day after day after day, and they keep on doing it up to the point where they retire. That is mental strength. That is focus. That is tenacity, right? But it didn't grow from anywhere. So While I was blogging for MMA, I met a very young athlete, South African athlete. I won't say his name because they might sue me. So when I met him, he was an amateur, right? So you get amateurs, you get professionals. Professionals get paid. Amateurs, they're quite young. They're growing in their career. So I walked into this venue somewhere in Brakpan. And the fights were happening. I remember the lights. My wife and I were both bloggers. I remember the lights. They welcomed us. They gave us our media accreditation. Thank you. Thank you. At least one person is clapping. You know? So yeah, I walked in there. They gave us our accreditation. There were lights. And then the fights started happening. Fight card was 11 fights. Best night, right? Drinks are there. Music is playing. And the final fight was this particular athlete I'm talking about. He was destroying his opponents. Destroying them. And I said to my wife, this boy is going somewhere. This boy has something special. I started blogging. I think after 5 fights, he fought for the amateur title. He won it. He became the champion. From there on, he moved into a bigger organization, which is the pro organization for MMA. And once he got there, he actually became the youngest champion in the history of the entire organization. Fantastic boy. Now comes the problem. He was so focused when he was in South Africa. He was winning. He had support system. His parents were around because he was young. I think he was probably like 21. Then one day, a big fight was organized. On the women's fight card came this hottie from America. They met each other at the change rooms. He was gone. Got married and moved to the US. When he moved to the US, the good news is he joined a larger MMA organization called UFC, where they're getting paid in dollars. So this boy was now set. First fight, he lost it. Second fight, he lost it. Then he became a laughing stock. Third fight, now recently, he lost it again. I said, something has to be wrong. This is not the same person that we know. I reached out to him and I found out he was going through a divorce throughout all of these 3 fights. So he became infatuated, saw this hottie, they went overseas, things didn't work out, he started losing. Once the youngest champion in Africa was losing fights, and I'm not talking about just losing through points. No, he was getting his bum kicked. They were dropping him. He lost his focus. Something was happening around him that made him lose his focus. That's what happens to us as entrepreneurs. That's why you need your focus and your tenacity, right? You are running your business. You are an athlete in your business. You need to be so focused that you are so plugged in. I always say this. You need to be so plugged in. And this is what happens when your focus is high, right? You can go onto LinkedIn and read an article and identify an opportunity for yourself without it saying it's a tender. You are reading it. This CEO is speaking about the future of something. There's a link to the sustainability report. I download the sustainability report, I read it immediately. I can see space for myself. If you're not at that stage yet, you're not focused. I'm telling you right now. Tenacity is the other part of it. Once I start reading the sustainability report and I start speaking to this CEO, there's uncertainty in terms of when are they going to respond and give me the opportunity. Tenacity means you know how to deal with everything that's uncertain. So it's okay. I don't know when this guy is going to respond. I don't know when the business opportunity is coming, but I will stick with it. If it means I must speak to him for 2 years before the deal is closed, I will do that. So once you have your focus and your tenacity, you will know what your marketing strategy is, you will know what your sales strategy is, you will know what your communication strategy is. You just need these 2 things. Because these 2 things basically means you are surviving. If you are not surviving, big problems. Your business is going to shut down. So I did a study last year with 100 women entrepreneurs. Because I wanted to study this whole concept of mental strength. So I took different groups. There was a group that was going through something that was causing them stress and anxiety. There was a group that has gone through stress and anxiety. And there was a group that claimed they don't have stress at all. Okay? They claimed. Because there's no such thing. Fine. So I took these different groups. I started doing business coaching for them for free. And I said to them, here's a sustainability report, read it, and tell me what you find out. The group that was going through stress and anxiety, because their focus and tenacity is low, they gave up. Sustainability report is 158 pages, written in big English, proper corporate English. They just went through it, they gave up. They said, I can't find anything here, I don't want to read further. The group that had gone through therapy and life coaching, they were highlighting things out of the sustainability reports. When they came back, coach, this is what I picked up. This is what's happening. This is what's going on, right? Level of focus was quite high. The other group that claimed not to have problems at all, they realized that day through that exercise that they have problems. They realized that day because they just could not focus. Then I said to them, fine, let me take the group that does not have focus, right? That does not have tenacity, that's going through something, and help them to rebuild their mental strength. So we did very simple exercises, and you guys are going to do them at home as well. So I said to them, let's start by testing how much mental strength you have. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to do 10 sets of push-ups 3 times. So you're going to do the first 10. We're going to stop for a minute. Next 10, we're going to stop for a minute. Then we do the last 10. And when we're doing that, I'm collecting data in between. This is how you test. If you want to test today whether you have mental strength or not, go do this exercise. If your first 10 push-ups, your mind is already wandering. You can't wait for this thing to end. You're already thinking about the next set of, your mental strength is low. Your mental strength is low. So that means even your approach through anything that's difficult is going to be similar. And if you lose your form, that means you're not focused. When you do a push-up, you must be in a specific position. The moment you start slouching and you're not focused and your form is wrong, that means you're not focused at the moment. So that means when you approach life, that's exactly how you're going to do it. So that is how you test for it. So I did that. We did the test. Some of them got all the way to the end. But when I was collecting data, some people were saying, when we started with the first 10, I was already giving up in my head. Others were saying, first 10 was smooth. But when we got to the next 10, and I started thinking about the third one, my mind started going away. So you see, these are different levels of mental strength. And then you got people like Lebohang, who just nailed them. Pa, 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 pa. And when I compared that with the people that actually had the most notes on their sustainability report, it's the people that finished. And the people that had the lowest are the people that actually didn't finish. Some people didn't even want to attempt the exercise, right? Then I gave them a week. I said, for 1 week, go back to your business, do what needs to be done, marketing strategy, then come back to me and tell me how your week was. Same result. The people that started the push-ups and didn't finish were the ones that came back and said, business was difficult this week. I slept throughout the first 3 days. So there's a correlation to all of this. It's your focus and your tenacity that will drive you at the end of the day. Those are the only 2 things you need. That's the entrepreneurial mindset. Be so plugged in that you can't be interrupted, that you can't lose your form. And then be tenacious enough to withstand periods where there's uncertainty. Nobody can guarantee you anything in business, right? So if you're thinking about ZA, when are you going to start making millions from YouTube? We don't know. But you stay. That's tenacity, you stay. You stay with the hope that is going to happen, but it's not just false hope. It's hope because you know your skills. I will give you guys the study before the end of the year, hopefully. I will send it through to you guys. But I want you guys to test yourselves. Test your mental strength. Every day. Test it. Don't experiment too much with your business where you start getting into things and your mental strength is not right. We always say we work on the jockey before we work on the horse, right? So you as a jockey, you must make sure. So I want you to keep testing your mental strength. The push-ups, people. We can find a different exercise. I'll find you guys easier exercises. Lebohang will speak. We'll give them something easier, you know? But yeah, the fact of the matter is that you need to put your body in such strain that your mind starts getting used to automatically kicking in. That's what needs to happen, right? You need to put yourself constantly in that position where your mind comes in automatically. In the beginning, you have to activate it. So when you're doing the first 10 push-ups, you have to talk to yourself, you have to activate it. But the more you do it, your mind now knows. When you are going through stress, it automatically kicks in. It's like a generator in load shedding. It just switches back in. So those things you can hone. So don't let people tell you that, it's either you're born with it or you're not born with it. They are mind skills. They're just like any exam that you take. So I'm going to leave you guys with that, and I'm hoping you're going to go and test your mental strength, and then you can tell me how it went. Thank you.